Good morning. Welcome to our MindPower Masterclass. We got people that are still coming in and getting their audios connected. So we're gonna wait for just a few seconds to get everybody on. Welcome. I'm so excited to see you here. And we are going to have a really, really powerful couple of hours together. I'm really diving into what's going on behind the scenes of your mind, your subconscious programs. How do we change them? All of those really, really fun things. I want to make sure that everybody has their playbook ready. So either print it out, or if you can edit it on your computer, however you have that, I would love for you to have that. You're going to want to have that as well, so that you can follow along and really get this anchored in a deeper level than you have ever had it anchored in before. So let me tell you how this masterclass is going to go. We're going to be here for about 2 hours, and you've got your playbook. At the end of the playbook, we've got lots of different exercises and techniques and different ways that you can get in and start playing with your subconscious mind. We will have time for questions. And so when you have questions, you can pop them in the chat, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. And then, of course, you'll have lifetime access to the playbook, lifetime access to the recording. I recommend that you go back and watch it over and over and over again. As you really dive into this, you'll be astounded at the power that you have and the control that you have, really, to redesign your reality. So we are going to have a great time. So the purpose of this class is really to understand what's going on behind the scenes in your mind. It's really important to paint a picture and to give you a visual of what's going on in your mind, because your mind, especially your subconscious mind, sees in pictures. It sees in images. And the way that we reprogram our subconscious is through images, emotions, and repetition. And so I want to give you an example. I want you to think about what you're going to make for dinner tonight. We're having tacos for dinner tonight. So when you're thinking about what you're making for dinner, what comes onto the screen of your mind? Does a big whiteboard with the word tacos come onto your mind? No, you see yourself, oh, okay, what are the ingredients that I need for tacos? All right, I got to brown the meat, and I got to make sure I chop up the lettuce, and do we have enough salsa? And we got to get the taco shells. Like, you see yourself making tacos for dinner. That's what comes up in your mind. And so when we talk about the subconscious mind, I don't know about you, but when I first learned about subconscious programs, and we run programs we don't even know we're running, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm screwed. If I don't even know what programs I'm running, what hope do I have of being able to change them? And when I would think about my subconscious mind, all I would visualize is like this black, vast nothingness. And can anybody relate? If you can relate to that, pop that in the chat. Put sounds like me, or I can relate, or give me a little heart emoji for your reactions. If you're tracking with me, like, has that been your experience as well? When you think about the mind, like, what's the picture that comes to mind? Oh, look at that. Jetta just gave me a heart. Thank you. So we need to be able to have a picture. Oh, look at this. Totally relate, hearts. Yep. Okay, good. I kind of figured you'd be able to relate to that as well. And so what this whole masterclass is for is to help you see more clearly what's going on when you're creating and you're redesigning your reality and up-leveling who you really are. Now, Einstein said, any intelligent fool can make things bigger, more complex, and more violent. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. Now, if you have followed me for any length of time, you know how wild I am about simplicity. I don't want 84 steps to change anything. I get lost on step 4. And then I abandon it. And so we want this really, really simple. Einstein also said, when the solution is simple, God is answering. And so I want this so simple that it's like, oh, seriously, that's all that's going on? And I can change that? That's where I want you leaving this class today, and just feeling so lit up and so excited about actually knowing what's going on. We're pulling back the curtain of your subconscious mind and your programs, and you're going to get in there and finally get in the driver's seat and know that you're in the driver's seat. So now, I'm not a huge proponent of PowerPoints, but I'm going to have you fill in your playbook as we go along. And so it's going to be easiest if I share my screen with you and share this beautiful PowerPoint presentation that my team made for me. So if it will advance, it will be even better. There we go. Okay, that's just a little bit about me. Here's the fantastic Einstein quote. And we are going to talk about how your brain works in pictures. All right. So this is a representation of your mind. You have the conscious mind on top. And then, of course, we have the subconscious mind on the bottom. This gold line right here in the middle represents your reticular activating system. I like to call it the filter or the bouncer. Now, your conscious mind is the mind that creates new ideas. Your conscious mind makes decisions. Your conscious mind is the only part of your mind that can either accept or reject an idea. Your conscious mind is your awareness. It's also known as your thinking mind. Your conscious mind is the part of your mind that works to manifest results. All right. And then we have this RAS, the reticular activating system, or the filter. This filter acts as a buffer, and it distinguishes between truth and lies. And it will allow the conscious mind to kick out ideas if they don't seem to make sense, or if they don't seem to be valid. All right. So the RAS is really important. And then we have the subconscious mind. And oh, look at this. I'm just going to show you this on the screen as well. The subconscious mind works to manifest our beliefs. All right. Conscious mind works to manifest results. Subconscious mind works to manifest beliefs. And here is the juice is all in the subconscious. So your subconscious mind runs all of your belief systems and all of your programs. The subconscious mind accepts every idea in it as truth. It does not judge between truth and lies. It also runs all your automatic functions, your breathing, your heartbeat, your blinking, your digestion, your lungs, your blood pumping. We love the subconscious mind. All right. If I had to remember to breathe and remind myself to breathe, we'd all pass out after 45 seconds because we get so excited and distracted so easily. So we really are not at war with our subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is also your center for emotions. And that's really important to remember because it works in images and feelings. It's also called your heart or your spirit. Now, of these two minds, the conscious and the subconscious, you will always manifest your beliefs over your results. And that is so vital to remember. So let's talk about what happens through this whole process of creation and an idea and what your mind and what your body goes through. So we've got your conscious mind, we've got your subconscious mind, and then we have the body. The body is actually a function of the mind. And I want you to write that down if it's not already written down. It's a function of the mind. It's an instrument of the mind. The body is actually part of the mind. Your body is in charge of your behaviors. Your body is what takes action. Your body is in charge of your health conditions, how others respond to you. Your body is the doing part of your personality. So we've got to work together with the conscious, the subconscious, and the body. So when we're in the body is what takes action, and then it ends up in your results. So R, of course, stands for your results. All right. Now, if this is feeling elementary to you, this is very foundational. So if you're like, yeah, I know this, I want you to open up and to get this in your cells, get this in your DNA, because this changes everything. All right. So let's break it down. when these little waves represent energy that literally comes off you in specific frequencies or vibrations. When I say frequency or a vibration, I use those words interchangeably. This energy attracts people, it attracts situations, circumstances, and things that are of a similar frequency. There is a physical counterpart to your thoughts. There's a physical counterpart to your frequency or to your vibrations. And it's really important to remember that. Now, the vibration of the body is determined by the thoughts that are held in the subconscious mind, not the conscious mind. All right, the subconscious mind. And I'm going to say that again. The vibration of the body is determined by the thoughts that are held in the subconscious mind. So let's show this process of what's going on when you're having positive thoughts, when you're having negative thoughts, and so forth. So here we've got positive thoughts. And can you guys see my arrow, my mouse moving? Can you see that? Will you pop that in the chat if you can see that? Or is it just seeing, are you just seeing the screen? Oh, look, there's the chat. You can see it. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, good. Then I'll make sure that I'm pointing at the right things. All right. So this right here is the choice to attach a positive meaning to simple data input received. Okay, so what does that actually mean? It means when you have an event or a situation that's going down, you've attached a positive meaning to it. Those of you who have been part of our prosperity experience workshop, the Success Without Struggle workshop, we're talking about beautiful states and suffering states. All right. So this is a beautiful state, because remember, what puts us in those states are the meanings that we give experiences. So experiences is another way to talk about simple data input received. All right. Here's the what so of the situation, and we've just attached a positive meaning to it. Now, remember, any event of life is neither good nor bad. It just is. It's just, the fact of the situation. The event is neutral. It's always neutral. When you attach a positive meaning to the event, you create a beautiful state of mind for yourself. Here is what it looks like when we attach a negative meaning to simple data input received. It's also known as the suffering state. When you have an argument with someone and you pick up the beat up stick, or when you're running late and you pick up the beat up stick, or you look at news, which I don't recommend anybody really does on the regular, but it puts us into a suffering state because of the negative meaning that we're giving that situation. Now, this next picture represents the conscious rejection of any idea, whether it's positive or negative. All right. And this, I really want you to put this picture to memory right now. When you're rejecting an idea, it doesn't matter whether it's positive or negative, you've got that RAS, that reticular activating system, or the filter or the bouncer that allows you to say, nope, no, that's not ever going to work. I can't see how that would ever work. That's boom, rejecting an idea out of your mind. So have you ever had an idea and you're so lit up by it, and you talk to somebody and they're like, well, how are you going to do that? And have you thought about this? And what if that happens? And then you're deflated and you're like, oh yeah, that wouldn't work. This is the visual representation of you rejecting that idea. You were really excited about it, and then doubt came in. Whether you brought the doubt in yourself or whether somebody else introduced the doubt, doesn't matter. This is you rejecting it. Now, it's not always bad to reject an idea. Not all ideas are positive, right? So if you're like, maybe I should cause harm to myself or others, and then you're like, no, that's not a good idea at all. Why would I do that? You're rejecting a negative idea. And so that's really good. Gosh, anytime that you're wanting to think that you're less than, and you're like, that's bogus. I don't play there any longer. That's rejecting an idea. So it's good. It's good to be able to reject ideas, positive or negative, except we really want to just be rejecting the negative ideas and not the positive ones. So this is what I want you to visualize when doubt creeps in, when uncertainty creeps in, any of those things. I don't know if any of you watched Scrubs back in the day, but there was a character there. His name was Ted, and he was a lawyer, and he had no confidence at all. And the hospital director loved to torment him. He was just mean to him all the time. And there was one episode where Ted decided he was going to stand up to Dr. Kelso. And so Dr. Kelso would insult him all the time and totally intimidate him. And Ted said one time, "Oh yeah, Dr. Kelso? Well, I'm rubber and you're glue. And whatever you say bounces off me and sticks on you." And Kelso goes, "You're an idiot, Ted," or something like that. And Ted replies, "Boing, flip." And I loved that whole, like the whole episode. Every time he sees him, boing, flip, boing, flip. And so I want you to think about that. That is the sound of rejecting an idea. Boing, flip. Nope, I'm not going to accept that as truth for me. That doesn't work for me. Now, when we are in real life, when an idea comes that we're rejecting, it can very often sound like, "Yeah, but," or "I just don't see how." Those are the thoughts that come into your mind where you're rejecting that idea as possible. All right. I think, everybody knows me at least a little bit. I don't like theory. I want to know, how does this apply in my life? What does it sound like? What does it look like? So that's what it sounds like. It sounds like, "Yeah, but, oh God, that could probably be really hard. I really don't see how this could ever happen. I really don't see how this could ever work out." That's what it sounds like when you're rejecting an idea. All right. Especially a positive idea. All right. Now, you can reject a positive opportunity or idea as quickly as you do a negative one. And most of the time we actually reject the positive ones faster than the negative, because that's what we're wired to do. That's what we're conditioned to do in society. All right. Okay. Next one. My apologies. I've had a cough for like a month now. I'm going to pop in a cough drop so I'm not coughing all over you. All right. This is a visual representation of thinking. All right. Just, you love this little idea cloud. This is consciously creating a new idea. And most people completely have the wrong idea about what thinking is. They think analyzing is thinking, and it's not. Thinking is creating a new idea that's only limited by your imagination. It's visualizing what you desire for the future. That is thinking. That's actually thinking. It's not like mulling over a problem. That's not thinking. That's analyzing. Thinking would be going into the solution. Oh, there's a number of ways that we can solve this issue. What's one way we might solve it? That's thinking. All right. It's consciously creating a new idea. When you're in the problem, it sounds like, "Oh my gosh, I'm just going to look at this. I'm going to stare at this. I'm going to puzzle this thing out. I'm going to talk to lots of people about the problem." That keeps you analyzing, and that keeps you in the energy and the frequency of the problem, not the solution. All right. We're going to talk about the process that an idea passes through before it shows up for you physically. And here's the thing that is so cool about ideas and about us. Your ideas are just as real. Your dreams and your desires are just as real in your mind as they are when you hold them in your hands, or when you're experiencing the vacation, or when you're experiencing in, like, quote, real life. The only difference is the form. We're taking it out of spirit form or idea form, and we're giving it a body. We're putting it into physical form. All right. So there's a process that the idea has to go through every single time before it shows up for you physically. All right. So we've got our beautiful stick man here, and we've got our idea cloud. Remember, R stands for results, and the arrow stands for action that you're taking. So you're going to put a number 1 in the cloud. So everything starts as an idea. All right. Oh, imagining something different. As we think about the idea, we spend some time on it. If we're not just rejecting it, and now moves into our conscious mind, it's in our awareness now. All right. That's part of our conscious thinking mind. If, if we get emotional about it, it then moves into our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind creates a vibration in the body, so it passes through the body. We then have a specific behavior or action that we take, and then it ends up in a specific result. Okay, so I think your playbook has the numbers, but if not, write those numbers in. All right, so here's the process that it has to go through every single time in order to show up here as the physical result that we desire or the manifestation that we desire. Now, this is what we generally experience when we have a new idea. So we're going to use, did I skip one? Hang on just a second. Nope. Okay, so we're going to use X as your idea, and we're going to show you what happens with that. So it starts as an idea, it moves into the conscious mind. It only moves out of the idea stage and into the conscious mind. It only moves from here to here if you start actually thinking about it, like spending time thinking about the idea. All right. Then it moves into the subconscious, moves into our body. We take action, and then we get the result. Okay. So here's our X, what we want. Now, this is what most of us do when we have an idea. Most of us only create through our 5 physical senses: sight, touch, taste, smell, and sound. And this right here represents the little antennas of evidence and information that we get through our 5 senses. All right. So remember, R stands for result. So we're looking at our reality and we're getting evidence that things are going to be hard, or they're going to take a long time, or people don't get us. And then we're just looking at all of the evidence, we're taking action, but we continually get the same result. We get emotionally charged about things as they are. And most of the time we're in a suffering state about it. That puts our body into a very specific vibration, and we're going to get the same results. All right. So it's this really unpleasant cycle, quite honestly. I mean, let's be honest about it. When we're just getting evidence and data through our 5 senses, it just loops us around. We're in this continual loop. Why am I in this pattern again? Why am I here again? Oh, I'm trying to change my reality with my current reality. I can't actually do that because I'm so wrapped up with what I am seeing, with what I'm hearing, it feels like I'm slogging through things. We get hypnotized by it. And then we try to change our reality in our current reality. And we can't do that. We have to pull back from those senses. All right. So most people are trapped right here. And have you ever heard anybody say, well, the fact of the matter is, well, the reality of the situation is, I have a dear friend who loves to say that, well, the fact of the matter is this: things are going to change. We have to work harder, like all the things, and it's just because this is what we're taught to try to create with. It's just with our physical senses and current reality. That's a really, really hard, long way to try to change your reality. All right. This is also what's known as setting our heart upon one's riches. When we're just getting all caught up in the emotion of the what so. This is an example of a busy mind that's not thinking. This is a busy mind that's analyzing. You're not creating. There's a difference between analyzing and creating. This is what it looks like in our mind and in our body when we're analyzing and we're making conclusions based on our current reality. All right. Let me ground this in for you. Long time ago, when we were our money was small, our money was tight, because I only knew how to be small and tight, and we had too much month left over at the end of our money. I was like, okay, what do we need to do? What if we can't make the van payment this month? All right, we just got to get more money. The only way we can get more money is to get another job. We got to work more. We got to get a raise. No one's ever going to give us a raise. Boing, flip. Okay, I'm going to have to get another part-time job. I was working 4 part-time jobs at one point and had 4 little kids. because I was just looking at results through my physical senses and I was analyzing the situation. I wasn't trying to create my way out of it. All right. Most of us try to analyze the situation and create a different situation instead of creating your way out of it. And it's a whole lot more fun and it goes a whole lot faster when you create your way out of it. All right. Busy mind, that is not thinking. It's not creating. All right, so let's show you how you actually create. So you're going to put a D in the cloud. The D stands for your dream or your desire. All right. So when you create a new idea and you get emotionally involved with it, regardless of current reality, regardless of results as they are, this is called thinking truth in spite of appearances. So do you see how we've got the dream and we got excited about it? We've got the new idea. We're visualizing. We're feeling expansive. We're feeling excited. We don't know how. We've skipped the how because the how sucks. We skipped right to the end. How do we think we're going to feel? That goes right into our subconscious mind. Because when we get emotional about something, that's how we know, all right, it has successfully passed through the filter and it's now in our subconscious mind. This is what happens when we fall in love with our dream. When we fall in love with, in 6 months, what do I want my life to be like in this category? In 3 months, what do I want my life to look like in my relationships or my health or whatever? Right. And we're still in a really great time of year where people are still really fired up about their goals and doing things different. But if you don't know how to think different, things will not be different to the degree that you want them to be different. So kudos to you for being here in this masterclass, because this shows you exactly what's going on behind the scenes. All right. Next, this is representative of creating a new positive idea. So this is imagining or visualizing something that brings you happiness. All right. So you've got that positive idea. Now you're thinking about it. Okay. So we've got it out of the idea into the conscious. And now we're going to get an emotion. We're going to have an emotional response to us that gets it into the subconscious, which is where we want it. Remember, subconscious works to manifest your beliefs, not your results. So we got to get it in here. We got to get excited about it. And now we're moving the body in a positive vibration. So right here, we've created a new positive idea. We're thinking about it consciously. So we're spending time, I'm going to use the D word, daydreaming about it, but we're actually putting a foundation under it because now we're getting emotional about it. It's now changed the vibration in our body. All right. And the way that shows to you is you feel different. You feel more energized. You feel excited. You feel hopeful. You feel optimistic. You feel like, yeah, we can do this. You start believing in yourself more. That's how you know that you've got it in your mind, in your subconscious mind, and it's moved into your body. So now we're going to take positive action on that. And it will lead to a positive result. What happens with most of us is we pray for something positive while picturing something negative. Oh God, ladies, I did this for years. I was so frustrated. I'm praying. Why won't God answer my prayers? Or faith that didn't work. Oh, I tried it, but it didn't work. All right. So what we're doing here is we're saying, money's such an easy one. I'm going to use money. I'm going to use an extreme one. I don't want bankruptcy. I don't want to go into bankruptcy. Oh, I don't want to go into bankruptcy. So I want to think about what I want. So I'm going to think about things working out, but God, I feel like I'm going off a financial cliff. Do you hear my words? I feel like we're going towards a financial cliff, but I'm just going to think about happy things. I'm going to think about happy things. You ever thought about happy things? You ever made a gratitude list while you're feeling really negative? This is what's going on in your mind. This is a visual representation of that. I'm praying for something positive, or I'm thinking about something positive, but I'm actually feeling the opposite. And remember, it doesn't matter so much what's in your conscious mind. It matters what's in your subconscious mind. So that puts our body into a negative state, a negative vibration, a lower vibration. It feels like anxiety. It feels like angst. It feels like I'm nervous. It feels like I'm going to try it, but I don't really see how it can work. All right. That's how it shows up in your body. We're going to hope for the best, but plan for contingencies. Like that looks like that as well. Hope for the best, but expect the worst, or plan for the worst, or something like that. Whatever that horrible saying is, this is what's going on in your body. That's why you're like, no, don't do this, because you're going to get negative results. It doesn't matter what kind of action you take. It's going to lead to something that you don't want. Because remember, there's a physical counterpart that is an energetic match to whatever vibration your body is in. And your body gets into the vibration because of what you're feeling and what you're thinking about and picturing in your subconscious mind. Okay, so this is what it looks like in real life. This is somebody taking positive action with an emotionally charged negative idea. All right, so do you see? Here we go. Negative idea. I'm thinking this isn't going to work. Oh man, maybe I made the worst decision of my life. Now you're in a negative vibration, but I am going to work my tail off. This has to work. This has to work. I'm going to get to the gym and I'm going to pound it out, even though I've tried stuff before and I can never lose weight. And then I just end up sabotaging. And I'm dreaming about eating a pan of brownies. But I'm taking positive action and I'm denying myself of all the things I like. What kind of result that you're going to get? Even if you're taking all this positive action, you're going to get a negative result. You're not going to be able to maintain it. Even if you did get a positive result, that won't last very long. If you're in this. So when I was building my business 10 years ago, the energy that I was in was, holy crap, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't actually make a difference. What if this doesn't work? And I ruin my family financially. That was my thought. I got emotional about them and I did all of the coaching that all of my mentors gave me. I executed on everything they told me to do. Wildly uncomfortable all the time. I was taking positive action. I built my business to multiple six figures in 2 years, but I could not maintain that. It couldn't last because I was still in, this doesn't actually work. I don't know that I can do this. I can't make a difference. What if financial devastation? And eventually it landed in a bankruptcy for my family but this is where I was. So I'm letting you know about it so you don't go there because it's not necessary to go there. Taking positive action isn't enough. Results will reflect the condition of the heart. And do you remember what another word for the subconscious is? It's heart. So results will reflect the condition of the heart, the condition of the subconscious, not the, I know I can do this. I'm worthy and deserving. I'm enough. If you don't feel it, it won't matter. Your results reflect the condition of your subconscious, what you're imagining more often than not, and what you're feeling more often than not. Are any of you having ahas right now? Or is anybody having like their mind go right now? And are you feeling actually lit up by this to know, holy cow, this is actually what's going on? Pop that in the chat for me. Somebody says, this is where I'm at with my business right now. Yeah. So let's stop that. Let's stop that. I'm going to show you how. So you're in the right place. All right. This is what I'm doing the whole time. Totally there. Yeah. Ladies, I was there too. And it's a really difficult place to be, and we don't have to be there. So yay. We have, especially with results sustainability. Yep. Exactly. Because this is what's going on in your mind and your body. Like now we know. Okay, let's move on. So this is what we do when we create a story around a negative idea, and then we get emotionally charged about it. Now we all run stories all the time. All right. I gotta think of a story that's appropriate in this setting. Oh wait. All right. Creating a story around a negative idea and getting emotionally charged about it. I hosted a class one time. I was doing my energetic connections training, and somebody asked me a question, and my response to the question, I had asked, would you like me to make some meditations for you? And the class was like, yes. And I said, all right, what meditation would be most helpful for you for me to record for you? And I said, just tap into your intuition and what comes to mind. And somebody said, my intuition tells me that you'll know what I need. And so whatever you do. And I said, that's actually a spiritual bypass. So just tell me what it is that you desire and that you want, and then I can create that. Well, that person created a story that I hated her from that comment. I didn't even think anything more about it. She created a story that I didn't want to help, that I was judging her. And I was like, what? What? No, I just told her to tell me what she actually wanted. So how many times do you do that with our kids or with our spouse or with our coworkers or our boss? Our boss and now our day, oh my gosh, they're going to fire me. I just know it because I didn't get that report in right early. So my job is on the line. Like, how many times do we do that? Or I was in a college class once. It was a health class. And this was way back in the day where they had those calipers, those old ancient tools to measure like body fat percentage. So he said, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not measuring anybody on here, because like, you guys have to measure it on each other. Because when I was first a teacher, I was measuring somebody's, and it was behind the arm, or is the under the arm. And, this is like an 18, 19-year-old girl that this health teacher was measuring. And he said, this is what I did. I got the caliper on her and I went, and then I measured her. And he got a phone call from the girl's mother that evening. How dare you humiliate my daughter? And he's like, what? Who's your daughter? Like, what did I do? He cleared his throat. All right. So how many times do we create a story when somebody has actually just cleared their throat? And then we get emotionally charged about it. So any negative idea that isn't rejected and you get emotionally charged about it, it moves the body into a negative vibration. All right. Do you have conversations in your mind with people? With a situation that hasn't even happened yet? You're like, oh, I'm going to tell him this. I'm going to tell him that, right? Well, we're addicted to drama. So that's one of the reasons why we do that. By default, if we're in this negative thought, negative feeling, negative vibration, we're going to take negative action and we're going to get a negative result. It sounds a lot like, oh, we're going there. Oh, it's a conscious decision, ladies. It's a conscious choice. Like, you think it, oh, it's on. Oh, it's on. All right. That's what it sounds like. You're taking negative action, and it's going to end up in a negative result. This looks like fighting with your kids, fighting with your spouse, aggressive driving, yelling at other drivers because they're idiots, getting too close when you're driving, being obnoxious. In the extreme, it's riots, it's harming other people. It's those things when we take it to the extreme. And we certainly have so much evidence of that having gone on over the last couple of years globally. And we don't need to put any more energy into that. If you don't intercept this, negative thoughts will ultimately manifest as negative results. All right. Now, here's the ray of sunshine here, because this can be intercepted. So you can be in all of this, even in a negative vibration in your body, and you can intercept it. All right. So it's not like now you're the victim to the process. You can stop this process at any time in the process. Even when you're in negative action, you can stop that process. You can stop the negative action. So the way that we intercept this negative process is hope and getting help from your higher power. It's hope in your heart that you're going to get help from God. There was a book written in the early 20th century by James Allen, and it's called As a Man Thinketh. And he says, and that's, we've got the scripture in the Bible, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The heart describes the subconscious. It's the condition of the heart. It's the condition of the subconscious that matters the most. It's not what you do. It's not what you're consciously thinking. It's how you feel. Now, here's the thing about feelings. Your feelings are shaped by your thoughts. I want you to write in your playbook, thoughts create emotions. Emotions do not create thoughts. Thoughts create emotions. So if you got to change how you feel, you do this in a number of ways. You choose activities that elevate your thoughts. Elevated thoughts will improve your feelings because thoughts create feelings. And your joyful feelings will then turn into positive, abundant results. So we can stop this. Oh, I'm in a story. Oh, I'm yelling at somebody in the shower. Ladies, I'm only giving you examples of what I myself have done. So I stop it right there. Oh, I don't want to picture this any longer. No, I'm creating a story and I don't like the ending of this story. I don't like the vibration that it's turning my body because I'm getting angry and I'm getting upset. So what would I rather feel? I'd rather feel peace. All right, then I better start thinking thoughts of peace. And I'll just continue on with the shower analogy. I have like not a billion, but close to all different body washes, all different smells. All right, what smell do I want today? Do I want peppermint? Do I want magnolia? What do I want? And then I'll go there. Really, really simple thoughts. Really, really simple. What would I rather think about right now that brings me joy? Oh, that one song that I love. That's a really, really great song. I want to think about that. All right. That will stop this whole process as well. But if you're having a low feeling, check back. You need to go behind the feeling. All right. What's behind the feeling? It's the thought. So what was the thought that created that emotion? I ask my clients that all the time, and myself and my spouse and my family. I'm so depressed right now, Mom. Oh, well, what's the thought that's creating that emotion? I'm just thinking how I don't have any friends. Oh, yeah, that certainly would cause that. Right. So we just get lots of awareness, zero judgment. This is a judgment-free zone, especially for yourself. And when you get into awareness and curiosity, oh man, I'm feeling irritated right now. What's the thought that's causing the irritation? That'll get out of the suffering state, which is irritation, and will get you back in that beautiful state. Curiosity is the gateway to that. Okay, let's move on. Here's the note of how it can be intercepted. It's in your playbook. Okay, so let's talk about creation. All right, so you're going to put a Y in the cloud, and this represents when you're on the verge of achieving something big and appearances look bleak, but you're thinking truth in spite of appearances. So this is what's going on in your mind and in your body when you reject the evidence of the current reality. Because the current reality is time lag, ladies. Current reality is nothing more than the dominant thoughts and emotions you've held for the last 2 weeks to 2 months. The current reality is already past. So this is you using your mind to think, and the emotion is what alters your physical vibration. And I highlighted in there, I bolded it for you. I want you to circle it. I want you to highlight it. I want you to put fireworks around it. I want you to throw glitter on it, all the things. The emotion, not the thought. The emotion is what alters your physical vibration. All right. So here we are. Here are our senses, right? Here's our little antenna. On our senses are X. All right. So we've got, here's the current reality. And this is what's in our conscious mind, but we start thinking about our dream. We start thinking about our goal. It goes into here. And regardless of the evidence screaming at you that that's impossible, who do you think you are to fly first class? Are you kidding me? 5 clients are going to pay you for your services? What? Children who respect your boundaries, in spite of all of that, you don't care. You've gotten emotional about your dream. It makes you feel expansive. It makes you feel supported. It makes you feel victorious. It makes you feel like, get emotive words that describe how you think you're going to feel. I feel grateful. I feel glorious was my word for a long time. This feels glorious to me. This feels awe-inspiring to me. You got to have emotions that are not good. It feels awesome. Those aren't emotions. Those are adjectives. So we really want to get into, this feels victorious. I feel unstoppable. I love expansive. I love expansive. I feel mighty. I like all of those. Okay. This is what that represents. This is when you're in creation mode and you're actually creating what you want. It's look around less, imagine more. Look around less, imagine more. That's what this is a visual representation of. And if you want to write that down, you can. Look around less, imagine more. Because we got to stop getting hypnotized by current reality. We got to hypnotize ourselves with what we want. It's so simple to do. All right. Using your mind to think. Okay. I am now going to run you through a visual guide to change your programming. All right. So we're on page 20. What page are we on? 22? I think that's a 22. If you're following along in your playbook, which I hope you are. And I'm going to have you write in different letters as we're going through. Okay. And if you have questions or if you're having a hard time following, pop it in the chat. I have them on the slides, but I also have them here on my paper so I can, show you in the camera if that's what you need. All right. But is everybody tracking with me so far? And are you liking it? It's page 23 in the playbook. Thank you. Megan said it's page 23 in the playbook. All right. You guys tracking? Are you feeling expansive? And are you feeling hopeful? Pop that in the chat. Because now is where it gets really, really good. This is how you manifest using your subconscious mind and your body. This is how you make your dreams your reality. And it would always make me so sad and also really frustrated before I learned how to do this. When people are like, I don't know what I did. I just kind of stopped worrying about it. And then it just came, as if God or the universe is like the butler, right? Or the genie or the catalog that you ordered out of. And I'm like, I think that we have a more powerful position to play here. It's called co-creation for a reason. And this is what it is. Oh, we've got awesome. Yes. Loving this. Great. Okay. Perfect. Oh, I'm so glad. So glad. Okay. Excellent. Vibrant. Oh, what a great word. Vibrant is my word that creates a feeling. Yes. Oh, it feels vibrant. Yes, I love it. Flirty. Sometimes flirty is my word too. Anyway. All right. So number one, this represents programming that's running in the subconscious mind, or programs that are running in the subconscious mind. All right. So you're going to put an X in the subconscious and you're going to put an X in the body. Because remember, we're running the program, which means we're visualizing it or we're imagining it and we're getting emotional about it. And that's what moves our state into whatever state of vibration that it happens to be in. Okay. Programs in the subconscious mind. The body is in a corresponding X vibration. Number two, you want something different. All right. So we're going to start on the bottom. So that's just going to be X in the subconscious, X in the body. All of those are just going to be X in the subconscious, X in the body. But now you want something different. So now you're starting to imagine a new Y idea. You're starting to imagine the car or the vacation or the money in your account or your health the way you want it, the body the way that you want it, having a greater level of spirituality and a greater connection with God, whatever that is. So you start imagining a Y idea. All right. So we've got Y in the cloud, and then we've got X in the subconscious and X in the body. Because just thinking about a new idea is not enough to change the programs, and it's not enough to change our body's vibration. All right. We got to do more than that. As you keep thinking about the Y idea, it becomes part of the conscious mind. All right. So you haven't rejected the idea by saying, I don't see how that can happen. I've tried it before and it didn't work. Okay. So we're not doing the Boeing flip with it. We're allowing ourselves to consciously spend time thinking about it. So do you see the Y ideas in the conscious mind, but we still have the X program running in the subconscious mind. and where our body is still in an X vibration. So we're not going to get Y results yet. It's not enough yet. We're still going to get X results. We have to move Y down here. So as long as the new idea isn't rejected by the filter, it's going to move into the subconscious mind. Now it does this by your allowing yourself to get emotional about the idea. You got to get emotional. You have to feel it. All right. So now we've got an X program and a Y program that are running. We're still in an X vibration though. So you've now altered your subconscious, your subconscious mind. Pardon me. All right. It's in here long enough. You've got these two programs moving and something really interesting happens. You now move your body into a corresponding altered vibration. So the subconscious mind moves your body into both an X and a Y program vibration. Many times, in fact, I can't think of one time when it's different. The Y program is the opposite of the X program. This creates conflict. Now, remember, as a subconscious mind cannot reject an idea. All right. This is why you can have an X program and a Y program running at the same time. Because once it gets into the subconscious, it just takes it as fact. It just takes it as true. And your brain is a goal achieving machine. And the part of your brain that achieves the goal is the subconscious. And so now you've got two different and opposing ideas and emotions going on in your subconscious. So you've got confusion here now on a subconscious level. And the confusion moves your body into a vibration of conflict. Now, this shows up very clearly. It shows up in physical feelings of fear, anxiety, discomfort, and unease. Isn't this glorious to know this? So now what do? Now we've got an opportunity that leads us to growth and has the potential to lead us where we want, but we've never tried it before. We've tried something similar to it and it didn't work. And it actually hurt us more than it helped us. And now we're feeling fear and anxiety about the idea to even have the audacity to try to do it again. So then what happens? Now you have a barrier. This is a visual representation of making it real. And this is typically when there is the most fear. This is when it's time to buy the first class airfare. This is when it's time to get into the training. This is when it's time to purchase the program or to have, it's called to put your profile on the dating app or to answer the guy who has a match with you. This is when you're getting to the gym for the first time or any of those things. All right. This is typically where the most fear and the anxiety comes up. Now, most people go to the mistaken conclusion that if you feel anxiety or fear or discomfort or unease before you take action or you make it real, then the idea itself must be wrong. Nope, I'm not quite ready yet. Maybe it's not the idea that's right, but I'm just not quite ready yet. But later I will be. But how could you possibly be ready for the new mentor, for the new business, for the lifestyle that you want if you're still running these programs and you're trying to create new reality based on current reality and your body is either in an X vibration or is in conflict all the time? Do you see where it's difficult, if not impossible, to do that? All right. So a lot of people, when I learned this, they called it the terror barrier. And we can all relate to that. But I was like, do we need to make this more dramatic than it already is in our body? I mean, my gosh, my gut is twisting enough on its own before I press the submit button that I don't need to be like, and now the terror barrier is here. So I like to call it the faith fence. This is our faith fence. Now, faith is truth spoken in advance. And our truth spoken in advance is our idea, our why idea of a different reality. And we've let the why idea simmer long enough, and we get emotive about it long enough that it's in our subconscious. And now we have these two warring emotions and belief systems going on in our body. So here we are at this actually beautiful faith fence. Now, here is what happens 97% of the time with 97% of people. This is the representation of the dream being let go of in favor of the comfort zone. Here's your terror barrier. I can't do that. Not yet, but later. Later when I'm ready, I'll do it. It sounds like, let's wait and see. It sounds like, oh, I'm too busy right now. I need to do this another time. If the money comes by the time this starts, I'll do it. Oh, maybe if there's a sale later on, I'll do it. But what's actually going on is you are coming up against this faith fence, and you are back to your comfort zone, which is rejecting the why idea, going back to who do I really think I am to change my reality? My family's not going to get on board with this. I must be out of my mind. It puts you back into the X vibration, puts you back into the old programs that you're running in the subconscious, and you go back to your comfort zone. Ladies, I have no judgment about people who do this, because I did this for years and years and years. But people have said before, your comfort zone is your failure zone. And do you see why that's true? When you're in your comfort zone, you won't let yourself change. You can't. You run programs that prevent you from redesigning your reality, because you keep choosing back into the old programs. You don't even realize what it is that you're doing. So here we are. All right. Here we are. We've got the why idea. We've thought about it. We're excited about it. We can see the potential. We visualize it. We feel the feelings. We've gotten into a vibration where it's like terror on one hand and peace on the other. Like, oh, if this works, but what if it doesn't? All right. You've got that going on. So you've got, I'm going to say, a healthy amount of fear and anxiety and unease and discomfort. When you take action on the new idea, in spite of the fear or the anxiety, because you understand what's going on, this is where you actually celebrate the terror barrier, because what it really means is you are so close to realizing your dream. You're so close to popping your body and your mind into a different vibration, and therefore a different reality. So this is when you take that final step and you make it real. You press submit, you say yes, and then you back it up with action. Now, this is what happens. On the other side of that terror barrier, the other side of that faith fence, what's going on is now you're in the why subconscious. Now your body is in the why vibration. Now you're taking action, and you're in behaviors that will lead you to the results you desire, which are the why results, the different results. This is the physical representation of when you have set your goal. You've gotten emotional about the vision you have for your life and how you want to feel. And an opportunity shows up that you know in your heart will help you to achieve your goal. Understanding that you're going to feel some anxiety. That is part of it. Ladies, it does not matter what jumps I make now at this level. I go through this every single time. Every single time I'm investing in myself with my mentor, every single time I'm investing in another team member, every time I'm investing in myself with a vacation, because make no mistake, that's an investment as well. I come up against this. So I mean, I hate to burst anybody's bubble to think that you're going to reach a point where you don't ever experience this. But I also want to let you know, like, this is the process that you go through every single time when you're up leveling. So celebrate it, because now you know what's actually going on, and you don't have to be in all of this agony, right? You can rip the Band-Aid off really, really quickly, because You now know that you make choices based on your desire to grow instead of making choices based on your desire to stay safe. Because as you do this and you continue moving forward, you're now in this new vibration. So don't attach negative meaning to anxiety when you have an opportunity presented to you, because it's good news. It means that you've successfully turned your idea over into your subconscious mind. It's sunk, for lack of a better word, into your subconscious mind. You've changed your vibration enough to attract the opportunity you need. You've attracted the promotion or the new job or that offer or the clients or the business or whatever it is. You've changed it. You've changed it enough to get on the same frequency as the reality you desire. That's so exciting. Now, let me be really clear about this as well, because people have a mistaken idea about the old programs. The old programs will always be there. That old X program of this is too big for me, or I don't really make a difference, or the horrible program of all, the most horrible one of all is I'm not enough and I can't do this. You will always be able to access those programs. So just because you're in a Y doesn't mean that you won't ever have thoughts of doubt, or you won't ever have uncertainty, or you won't ever have the opportunity to push play on the I'm not enough program. So those programs will always be there for you to choose. And here's why. Because first of all, the programs we see those programs are running in society all around us. And we're conditioned for those old programs. We're going on like 5,000, 10,000 years of conditioning and programming, and this is how it is, and thoughts in a certain frequency. So that frequency and those thoughts feel familiar to you. That doesn't mean if you have a thought that you're like, oh, shoot, and I just went back into the old program, unless you keep running that thought and keep running those feelings. And then yeah, you are running those old programs again. But if you are persistent with the new programs and you're consistent with it and you have tenacity with these new programs, you'll never have to run the old program again. And when the old program is running, you'll catch on really, really fast. And then you'll be able to direct your attention to what you actually desire. And then you're running the program that you desire. So this is where you get to take that final step and make it real. This right here represents my favorite quote by Henry David Thoreau. He says, if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life he has imagined, he will be met with a success unexpected in common hours, because you're now in an uncommon vibration to you. That's what this represents, you moving past that faith fence. And I have a lot of clients that are on here, and I think all of you have been part of our workshops before, part of the prosperity experience. And so you'll resonate with this as well. This is why we tell you, and this is why in the past, like when you have taken that leap of faith and you have invested and it hasn't worked out the way that you wanted it to, it's because even though you invested, it doesn't mean that you are now and forever running these programs. You popped yourself into the Y vibration, that if you don't know how to stay tuned and calibrated to that Y vibration, you'll very quickly go back into the X vibration. And then you'll be like, oh, this was a mistake. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have done this. Oh, I don't belong here. That's how it sounds. It's why we tell you, like when you join us, we have a whole wealth consciousness jumpstart kit for you that's going to help you stay in this vibration. That's why we immediately match you up with your own coach, because we know that you're in this new vibration and it's new and unfamiliar. And you don't have the skills right now to stay calibrated to it. It's not about holding it, it's about staying tuned to it. So we got to get in there and show you how to stay tuned to it, which is what sets us apart from everything else. Because just going through the terror barrier isn't enough if you don't have that support on the other side to help you stay connected to this new higher vibration of you. All right. Any questions? Oh, this stuff is amazing. I love it so much. Isn't it the greatest thing ever? Like, I've been so excited to share this because it changes everything, because now you don't have to Hail Mary your way to your next level of success or hope in a prayer that things are going to work out. Do you see how powerful you are to create your reality, the reality you desire? Oh, it's so great. Yes, it is. I love it. Okay. Any questions? Why do you say subconscious mind is heart? Because like back in ancient days, they would use different parts of the body to describe what you're feeling. And so as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, is a description of the subconscious mind. So as you think in your heart, as you think in your mind, the programs you run in your mind, that's who you are. James Allen said, men do not attract that which they want, but that which they are. Because if you're running in your subconscious mind, everything always works out for me. I am enough to live the life that I desire. God supports me. The universe is conspiring to help me. If you're running that and you're really feeling that truth in your life, then you will attract that which is a match for who you are. But if you're running programs of I'm not enough and people are going to judge me and this is really scary and I might get hurt, you put yourself into that vibration, and then you're going to get the people and the circumstances and the opportunities that actually feed that. But in scripture and in old times, it was described as your heart. What they're talking about is your subconscious mind. Did that help? Okay, awesome. Thank you. You said thanks. So great. Any other questions, or can we transition to our next part? Okay. I'll let you think. I'll let you think on it. Will affirmations and or acting as if help get dreams into the body? Yes. But if you don't believe the affirmation, it will take a very, 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 very long time to get emotional about it. I'll bet every single one of you have run, I am rich, I am wealthy, I am enough. And you instantly feel like a liar about it. So it all turns on your level of belief on this. So yes, acting as if definitely helps, but what helps the most is the emotion, which is the trickiest part. So yeah, but great questions. Okay. I've known about this process, but this is next level. I know, it's so great, isn't it? It's because you're ready for it. All right. So let's transition. Like how do we make this real and what's our next step? My favorite Einstein quote says, everything is energy and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want and you cannot help but get that reality. All right. He goes on to say a few other things, so we're going to stop right there. So we know what frequency we're a match to based on the emotion we're feeling. Emotions are physical indicators of what frequency you're aligned to at any given moment. That's what our emotions are. And that's why I'm going to stop this share now. What? Not new share, stop share. There we go. That's why you got to start falling in love with your emotions, ladies, and get tapped into them. We've shut ourselves off from our emotions because they're either too much or they're too scary or anything, but they'll tell you exactly what frequency you're on at any given moment. We can be consciously aligned to our desired reality, but if we're not subconsciously aligned as well, it will be difficult to attain and impossible to sustain because you can only have thoughts that are aligned with your core beliefs. And those run in your subconscious. And your brain is a goal-achieving machine. The goal of your brain is to bring you the physical experiences, people, situations, circumstances, opportunities, and things that align you with your subconscious beliefs, not your conscious desires. Remember, the conscious mind works to manifest results. That's why you work yourself into the ground and you think you have to hustle and grind and you don't. That's why you think you have to struggle your way to success and you don't. Your subconscious mind works to manifest your beliefs, and you will always 100% of the time manifest your beliefs. So how do we know where our body resonates on an energetic level? So you know what blocks are in your way and what you're subconsciously aligned to. You can just tune into your emotions. But for those ones that, you know how like you feel like you're aligned to something, but then you're not actually aligned to it, there's a block there. It's really easy to find that by muscle testing. Who here is familiar with muscle testing and feels confident with muscle testing? Put it in the chat, scale of 1 to 10. So 1 is like, what the heck is muscle testing? And 10 is like, oh, dialed in. Okay, somebody's heard of it. We got an 8. We got a 9. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. We got a 7. We got a 10, 10, 7, 10, 5, 3. Beautiful. Okay, this is fantastic. U3s, U5s, we've got somebody who's never tried it. So great. So we're going to talk about tapping into our energy. And those of you who are really familiar and very comfortable with muscle testing, this is going to be a really great review for you. And also just know that for those of you who are super comfortable with it, muscle testing is like the gateway to getting a greater connection with our intuition. So if your intuition speaks to you through smell or through vision or through hearing, if it speaks to you in different ways and you just know there's a block there or things are clear there, that's completely fine. I don't want you to like make a stumbling block that isn't needing to be a stumbling block. If you're like, now I got a muscle test for everything when I just intuitively know. No, you don't. So for those of you who aren't familiar or comfortable with muscle testing, we each have an energy field that runs through our entire body. We've got a nice circuit. The energy moves in a circuit. It's just like blood. It takes 24 hours for our energy to move throughout our whole body, just like it takes 24 hours for blood to pump all through our body. The energy circuit stays strong when something of the same frequency is introduced, but it goes weak if something of a different frequency is introduced. There are a lot of things that can affect our energy, both for good and for bad. Food can affect our energy and how in tune we are with our muscle testing, other people, our physical environment, if we're overly tired, if we are not well hydrated, but more than anything else, our thoughts and our beliefs can affect our energy and does affect our energy. David R. Hawkins says, the body can discern to the finest degree the difference between that which is supportive of life and that which is not. So I want you to think about that in relation to muscle testing and in relation to your intuition. Your body can discern to the finest degree the difference between that which is supportive of life and that which is not supportive of your dreams. You can substitute your dreams, your desires for life. So how do we do this? Your energy responds to what you think, how you feel, what you say, and what you do. And that response can be felt within the body. The easiest way to detect this is by testing out your muscles. Energy flows through your whole body, including your muscles. So you can test whether the energy or the frequency is strong or weak by introducing a thought or a belief or an idea. And then you apply light pressure to the muscle, engaging its response. If it is if it's something of a similar frequency, that means, yep, my body is aligned with that, your muscle will stay strong. If it's a different frequency that your body is not aligned to, the muscle will go weak. Now, have you all seen like the arm test where you press down on the arm and it goes down if it's a no and it stays strong if it's a yes? We're not going to do that because first of all, we're not in partners. And that's a really long, tedious way to use muscle testing, but it is very effective, especially if you're brand new, to see how your body responds. Your body naturally goes to those things that are going to sustain life. And it naturally pulls back from those things that won't sustain life or your well-being. And so we got to know whether you're a match or not. Why is this important to know? Because according to Einstein, in order to create the reality we want, we must match our frequency to the frequency of the reality you desire. Too often we're like, I want that. Why doesn't it come here? Just like, come here now. This is taking so long. It can't, and it won't. This is the frequency that it's aligned to. This is where it lives. You got to match it. You got to bring your frequency to match it. It's the only way you can receive it. And it is critical that you know if you're a vibrational match to what you want or not, because then we can figure out how to become a vibrational match to it. So, for example, if you introduce the thought of wealth by saying, I am wealthy, or I live in financial relaxation, that one's even more important, and the muscle you're testing on goes weak, then you know that the energy that's circling through your body is not a match to the frequency of that statement of wealth. And remember, based on what we just learned about how our subconscious and our body works together to manifest our reality, if we're at this frequency, we're going to get the physical counterpart that matches that frequency. So if it's not an energetic match, you're not going to get any amount of money that's going to make you feel wealthy if you don't, on an energetic level, resonate with being wealthy or living in financial relaxation, or everything always works out for me, or I have strong boundaries, or I am enough. Okay. What this means is if you're not a match, something's blocking it. The energy isn't flowing freely. So it's causing, the energy is jammed and it's causing that circuit to go weak. So we got to clear the blocks. We got to clear the frequencies that are jamming up the energy so the energy can be free flowing. So we ask certain questions and we determine where the blocks are. And then we can do a simple technique to clear the block out of the way and create a strong energetic circuit that supports us in creating the life that we desire. So there's several different methods of muscle testing that you can use. If you are alone, the sway test is a beautiful test for beginners. You can, I'm going to see if I can still stay in the camera shot. Part of me can. If you stand up, and if you're home and you can do this, stand up, but I'm going to sit for a second as I describe this. So if you stand up, and I like to put my hand over my heart and make sure that you have, your feet are shoulder width apart. So you've got a nice strong base, and then think a thought like somebody asked about affirmations. Think of an affirmation like everything always works out for me, and just think it. Everything always works out for me, and just relax, and then give it a couple of seconds, and your body is either going to move forward or you're going to feel yourself tipping backwards without you doing anything. This is letting you know whether you are an energetic match to that belief, to that thought, and that affirmation. When you get good at the sway test of standing up, you can actually do it sitting down as well. But if you're not comfortable with it, those of you who are 5 and below, I want you to stand up and try it. You can do this with physical things as well. I remember when I first learned muscle testing, there were all of like vitamins and supplements and things. And so there are some supplements that are a great match for your body and will lead to greater life and vitality, and others that didn't. So I remember being at the grocery store, standing in front of the vitamins, and I would have a bottle. Oh, look, I've got a bottle of vitamins right here. I would have a bottle and I would just like hold it to my heart. And then I would just ask, or I would just say, this is good for me. And then my body would either go forward or it would go back. And I tried to look so casual, like, I'm just pondering over this giant selection of vitamins and supplements that I can take. But I was actually muscle testing. Does my body needs this? My body doesn't need this. This will be good for my body. This isn't good for my body. So your body will tell you whether you are an energetic match for that and whether it's something that you need or not. If you don't move forward or backwards when saying everything works out for me, take a breath. You might take a drink and then try it again. You can also start just with your name, because your body moves towards truth and it backs away from lies. So if it's not responding on everything always works out for me, start really simple. My name is Allyson. Now, I did not push myself forward or make myself move forward. My body just moved forward. And my name is Andrea. And sometimes I'll close my eyes too, because that helps me to just block out other stimulants. My name is Andrea. Now, do you see how it took a couple of beats before it moved? All right, so start there. You can start with your age. You can start with, definitely start with your name. Now, some of you might be thinking, some of you might be thinking, well, of course it moved forward because I already know that's my name. But this is how you feel energy in your body. This is how you can tell whether you're a match for something or not, on the same frequency, whether you're aligned with it or not. Somebody just said, I just said donuts are good for breakfast. Went straight back. Yeah, right? You're like, oh, consciously, my body is all for that donut for breakfast. But energetically, when you're wanting higher level living or higher vitality and greater energy, nope, it's not going to agree with that on an energetic level. Isn't that fantastic? So fun. People are laughing. I love it. Yes, the best way to get confident in muscle testing is to practice, 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 practice. Now, somebody said, sometimes I seem to test backwards, even with my name. Why is that? A couple of reasons. If you don't like your name and you're wanting to reject your name, you might move backwards. I mean, think about it. Everybody wants to be enough. I am enough. I'm enough. I move forward now because I've changed that program, but for decades I ran a program that I wasn't enough. So even though like I want to be enough, I'm not. So maybe you're not resonating with your name. Sometimes if we're not trusting our intuition, how do I say this? Energy is intelligent, and energetic interferences can happen really easily if we're not certain like in who we are, and if we're not feeling confident with it. So sometimes it can like tip us sideways, sometimes it can tip us back. So just get authoritative. If my energy is aligned, then move me forward. You can say, if this is a yes, move forward. If it's a no, move me backward. So it's try establishing some authority and see if that helps. Great question. Yeah. And somebody said, if sometimes you have a different name and you resonate with that more than the name that you were given at birth. Okay. So the sway test, practice it over and over and over and over. And you can pull up different affirmations and you can test to see if you are energetically aligned with different affirmations. That's how I started. Start with your name. I have X amount of kids. I love pizza, just to get an establishment of how the energy moves and how it moves your body, because sometimes it's really subtle. And also this is a test in your patience as well, because as you saw, it doesn't immediately move forward all the time. Sometimes you have to think about it for not a minute or two, maybe 30 seconds or 10 seconds. And you think about this. And so you just keep thinking about it. I am enough. I am enough. I'm an energetic match to being enough. And then your body will respond. All right. So lots of practice. Once you've got the sway test down, if you're a beginner, you can move into faster ways to muscle test and determine where you are, what you're aligned with and what you're not aligned with. People, if you have a muscle, you can muscle test on it. I know people that muscle test with their feet, muscle test with their toes. I like to muscle test with my fingers. And there's, like I said, a number of different ways. You can Google muscle testing and you can muscle testing techniques and get so many. Now, I like it simple. I like things simple and straightforward so that I don't screw it up, or I know exactly where I screwed it up. And the faster, for me, the faster, the better. I have a fast moving energy. And so I like it fast. Do a couple of ways on your fingers. So you can make rings with your fingers, just your thumb and your index finger. You can make a ring and try to pull the ring apart. So if your energy is aligned to it, so in other words, if it's a yes, then it stays strong. If it's a no, I'm not aligned, it will break really easily. Now, the object is not to be so tight that there's no way you can break through it. So you're just going to have your fingers just nice and loose and comfortable. And this is a yes. This is strong. This means the circuit is complete. There's nothing blocking it. There's nothing jamming it. I've got a nice flow in the energy and my fingers won't break through it. All right. We're just trying to pull through. Now, if it's a no, give me a no. It slips right off so quickly. All right. And again, this is the hardest part about muscle testing or moving energy is trusting that it's moving and trusting where it's taking you. All right. So here's a yes and here's a no. And you can use it with any of your fingers. Now, this is why I don't like the rings, because I'm using both my hands and it's tiring and it takes time. It takes a long time. The way I learned it was with my thumbs aligning. So I'm going to see if I can show this to you. So if it's a yes, my thumbs would like make a straight arch. All right. Kind of like a bridge. So here's a yes. Do you see how they're nice and straight? And if it's a no, they skew off. Can you see that? Here's a yes. It's strong. Here's a no. And they just do it. Yes, no. And you can even just practice with a yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. All right. I don't like the thumbs either because my thumbs got tired. It took both my hands. We couldn't multitask while I'm muscle testing. And I love to multitask while I'm muscle testing. So you can do that one. My favorite of all time is sliding it across my fingernail. So if you've got, well, I use my right hand. I'm left-handed. I use my right hand. I recommend using your non-dominant hand. So if you're working with a client and muscle testing is really fantastic. If you're like coaching, doing life coaching or anything like that, it's really great to know if you work with your kids or if somebody's lying to you. And this is nice and subtle. Like this isn't subtle. This isn't subtle, but that's really subtle. Like I'm just like playing with my hands. All right. Yeah, not very subtle in the grocery store either, for sure. Yes, you can do testing with crystals. You can do testing with pendulums. Again, I like my body just because it's faster, and I'm all about speed. So you're going to put your middle finger over the top of your index finger's fingernail. All right, just like that, and then try to slide it across. Like you're just moving your middle finger over the top of the fingernail of your index finger. All right. Now I'm not having any sort of intention with this. I'm just moving it to get the feeling. If it's a yes, it's going to stay strong. If the energy aligns, it's going to stay strong. So I can say yes. It is so strong on my nail, and I am trying to push my middle finger over my index finger and it will not move. It's sticky. No, it slides so easily. Here's a no. Here's yes. Yes, no, 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 yes, no, 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 yes, 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 no. Right? I'm going to say this again. This is not me just like making it up and I'm just going to move it. Like I can't move it because the energy, it's like it bonds together tighter. And it's hard to get through. And then it separates if it's not aligned. That's the easiest visual for me to describe to you. Yes, no, yes, no. This is, and again, this is my favorite one because I can take notes while I'm testing somebody. And you can also be really subtle because you can have your arms folded. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And you know, people are just thinking you've got a nervous habit or a nervous tick or something like that. And nobody's really even going to notice. So it may not be a good idea to put lotion on before testing with your fingers. Well, it certainly makes it easier to get a no, to slide across your nails. But yeah, let the lotion absorb and then try it again. Somebody says I do a hybrid with the ring test with one hand and the nail slide with my thumb and middle finger. That is a great idea too. Thank you for that suggestion. So another way that you can do it is you have like the okay sign. And then the other hand is you can use whatever finger you want. I usually use my index finger, and this is a yes. See how it's not breaking the circle. It's not breaking the ring. And this is a no. Nope, 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 because the energy went weak. It's not bonded. It's not holding together. Now give me a yes. Sometimes you can even like a yes it'll even break like this, but it won't break all the way through. But usually that only happens to me when I'm going super, super fast. So I have to slow it down just a little bit. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Can the test be done without me asking a question? You can just think the question in your mind. You just think the question in your mind. And you can test for about anything. Oh, flicking motion with middle finger and thumb. Yeah. So this looks like yes, no, yes, no. Like I said, there are so many different. So if that's the one that works for you, use that one. Like I said, this one's my favorite. So I'm not going to diss any of them. It really is just your personal preference. And that's what's so beautiful, that there are so many varieties out there of how you can muscle test. Find the one that works the best for you and use that one. Finally, I believe I can confidently muscle test. You're welcome. All right. It's so simple. So don't make this harder than it is, and don't second guess it. That's going to be the hardest thing for you, because you're like, well, I know this isn't true. So of course it broke. Of course it was weak. I know it's not true. So that's not my intuition. That's not energy. That's not muscles. That's just me saying break because I already know it's not true. All right. So just like, remember, we're trying a new idea. And so take a breath, center yourself, take a drink of water. All right, we're going to try this again. Now, some fun things that you can do with muscle testing. If you need more sleep, you can muscle test for how many hours of sleep you need. So I need more sleep. I don't. I've actually done really good on my sleep lately. But if I did, I'm just going to muscle test somebody here. Okay, somebody here needs sleep. So I'm going to test how many hours of sleep do they need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it broke on 5. The way that I've structured it is I go back 1. So somebody here needs 4 hours of sleep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, they don't need 5. It stayed strong on 4. You need 4 hours of sleep. Now you can say break on the number that we need. So I'm going to look at somebody else, and you need sleep 1. And my intention now, what I'm telling the energy, because energy is intelligent and you have dominion over it. I'm telling the energy, now go weak on the number of hours she needs. 2, 3, 4 hours. Okay. Energy is intelligent. It's obedient. It wants to be directed. So you can do this with how much water do I need to drink? Is this a good food for me? A couple of, hang on. Is it truth or just our subconscious belief of it? Such a great question. It's your subconscious belief of it. It's your subconscious belief of it. It's not a universal truth. It's what you believe to be true for you. Great, great question. In fact, I have it in here to let you know, but thank you for asking that question. Next question, clarification. Can I receive confirmation of truth just by listening to a speaker? Yes, of course you can. Of course you can, because muscle testing is the gateway to really get us more in tune with our intuition. But if you've already got a really intact intuition, then you don't need muscle testing. Like it'll just ring true. It'll just ring true, like, yep, or it'll be like, nah, something's off. There's lots of different ways that our intuition speaks to us. It speaks to our senses. In fact, I did an intuition masterclass a while ago about this. But some people, if somebody's lying, they'll have this metallic taste come into their mouth out of nowhere. That's their intuition saying, oh, there's something off about this. Sometimes you'll hear something, and it's not like with your physical ears, it's with your spiritual ears. So our intuition, which is so gorgeous, is our sixth sense, and it works independent of our 5 physical senses. And so as you learn to trust that more, most people have the easiest one to tap into is pictures that will come into your mind or words that will come into your mind. But you can use smell, you can use taste, it will do your ears. And somehow you'll just have a knowing. That's called clairsentience, I think. You'll just have a knowing. Yep, I just know this is my next step. I just know that this is true. Yeah, I love it. So if your subconscious belief and you don't believe or haven't believed you were capable of accurately muscle testing, then what? Then you got to start telling yourself that this works for me. this works for me. And we'll talk about this in a minute. Great questions, everybody. Great questions. All right. So let me tell you why muscle testing is important. It helps you connect with your body. It also helps you connect with your intuition. Again, like when you're muscle testing, you'll know many times half a second before it goes tight or before it breaks. That's not you influencing the muscle testing. That is your intuition letting you know, here's what it is. This is where you resonate. This is where you're aligned or you're not aligned. And it helps you trust your intuition, helps you trust your intuition more. And for those of you who haven't felt confident in muscle testing or you're brand new to it, you're talking to a woman who as an adult didn't think she even had intuition. So I'm highly intuitive. It's a skill. It's not a gift. It's not a talent. Some people have a greater affinity for it, and they have a greater, what word? I'm articulate. Like they have natural aptitude. Thank you, angels. Well, I love you. They have a natural aptitude for it. So it's easier for some than others, but intuition is a skill. Muscle testing is a skill. You can develop it. So raise the roof. You can develop it. I mean, even somebody here said, hey, I finally feel confident. Okay. Yeah. Because it's a skill. So a couple of things to remember about muscle testing, which answers some of these questions. Muscle testing is not 100% accurate 100% of the time. It works according to that person's belief about what is right or wrong or good or bad. All right. So it's just, what am I aligned to in the moment? All right. It's individual. Muscle testing is individual, and it can be influenced by the person being tested and by the person doing the testing. So you can influence it if you're overly tired, if you are not confident, if you haven't had enough water, like all of those things can influence muscle testing. Now, something may test strong on one person, but it doesn't mean that it's a universal truth for everyone. It simply means that that person's energy resonates with that frequency, and it doesn't have a block on it. That's all muscle testing means. Muscle testing is a great way to access information about yourself, about others, but it's not the end all be all for everything. And it's not the end all be all with energy work. Many times muscle testing is actually used inappropriately to try to tell the future or foretell. That's not what muscle work is for, or it's inappropriately substituted for common sense and correct principles. I can't do anything unless the muscle testing comes out right. Like, we have our common sense, we have an ability to think, we have an ability to, deduce and all of that. So don't let muscle testing become a crutch, and don't let muscle testing become a wheelchair either. Like, this is a tool to assist you until you get more and more confident in your own intuition. So let this be a tool in your hands to just detect where the energy is right now. Now, you can use muscle testing for the past as well. So I could have said, I'm actually all good on my sleep, but did I need sleep 3 weeks ago? Yeah, I did. So I can go back 3 weeks ago. How many hours did I need 3 weeks ago? Overall, just as an average, I needed 3 more hours of sleep overall as an average. So you can go back to the past and see where you were. You can also see to what degree you resonate with something. So if you're like, okay, I resonate with I am enough, but do I 100% resonate with I am enough? Okay. So if 10 is 100%, or you can go by percentages, it doesn't matter, but I like to keep things simple. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do I resonate with I am enough? 7, 8, 9. So 9 out of 10, I resonate with I am enough. Oh, that's really great. That's great to know that we just have a little bit of a block. So we got some circulation going, but we don't have it really completely freely circulating. That's really great to know. So you can do, percentages as well. And again, you don't need to use muscle testing if you've developed your intuition and you trust in its guidance. Excuse me. Is there a difference between being empathic and having intuition? Yeah. Intuition is a skill. Being empathic is a gift. And being empathic, it just means that you're very sensitive to other people's energies and other people's thoughts, and you can pick up on them very well. It's very easy, and it's easy to think that other people's thoughts are yours when they're not. And intuition is a skill that you develop, and empathy is a gift that you learn how to use. So I hope that was clear. I just did muscle testing with the I am enough, 76%. I got to work on this, but oh my gosh, you're at 76%. Do you know how many people run 26% or 0% of I am enough? So we're going to celebrate the fact that you believe that you are enough more often than not, but we also have room for improvement. Like right now, I just muscle tested myself in front of all of you, and I'm about 90%. So I can improve as well. And that's the gorgeous thing, is that there's always room for improvement and room for growth. And so it doesn't mean anything bad. It just means this is where I resonate, or this is what I'm aligned to right now. And is this alignment here going to get me there? Probably not. Okay, then I need to do something about it. All right. Any other questions on muscle testing? Thank you so much for your patience and your grace with my coughing. Can I have another cough drop? All right. No other questions? The key to this is practice. And ladies, play. Oh, we get so in our head about this. I don't know how to do this. Oh no, I'm in an XY vibration and I chose the X over the Y again. Like, take a breath. All right, take a breath and let yourself play. This is feminine. All right, we're following the energy. We want to get a baseline. This is just a baseline for where you are in this moment. Maybe yesterday, whoever was at 76% was at 98% yesterday. Okay, this is just for where you are now, but I want you being playful and experimental about this, because something that I know about all of you is that as ambitious women, you get in your head a ton. I got to push, I got to grind, I got to get through this. Yeah, you can choose it. I recommend choosing different way. It's so much more fun. So what helped me to get out of my head is just to tell myself, we're just experimenting with this. We're just going to play. It doesn't matter if the energy or the muscle testing goes wonky and I'm like, that's actually a yes. I feel that in my bones. It's a yes, not a no. I'm going to take a breath, because a breath means I reset. I'm resetting my energy, and I'm just going to flow with this. I'm just going to play with this. Okay. I don't want you to get all in your head and all serious about this. Take ourselves way too seriously. All right. So just expand, just play. It's really fun. Does crossing legs or arms mess with muscle testing answers? If you think that it will, then it will. This is where we are so powerful. And these are such gorgeous questions, and I love them so much. So the way that I was taught about muscle testing or even moving energy, some people are like, you have to sit down, you have to have your feet on the floor, you have to have your eyes open, or you have to have your eyes closed. So there's like all of these rules that we put on the energy, and the energy is intelligent and the energy is obedient. So the energy just says, well, okay, if that's your rule, then that's your rule. And so my rule is no, I can have my legs crossed. I can be lying down. I can have my arms crossed, and the energy and the muscle testing is going to be accurate and telling me where I'm resonating with this statement at any given time. But if you want it to be that I got to have my feet on the ground, or I got to be lying down, or I got to be in a quiet place, or whatever, like all of those things will lend to being more present, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary to have that, because remember, I want a muscle test in public. And so I'm just going to do it with my arms crossed. And I just trust that the energy is accurate for where I am at the moment. Okay, awesome. Look at this. Yesterday I was at 8%. Right now I'm at 100%. Booyah! Congratulations. So now how does it feel? Like you've had great contrast between yesterday and today with this belief of I am enough and resonating with I am enough. So how did it feel in your body at 18% being aligned with I am enough? So this is beautiful. We're going to take this awareness and we're going to get it into ourselves versus how does it feel today to be 100%? How is it showing up in your body? Are you sitting differently today than you were yesterday? What's your level of vibrancy between yesterday and today? Meaning, how energized are you? How clear is your mind? And I would say, jot it down. Just jot it down. Because then you've got it written down so you can go back and now you have something to compare with that contrast. That's so beautiful. Oh, you said it was so heavy yesterday. Oh, yeah, it's a suffering state because believing that you're not enough is a lie. And that's really, really heavy energy, and your body is going to move you into lower energy when you're aligned with something that's not true about you. A question: how do you get the percentage of I am enough? You just ask on a scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 100, what percentage am I? And you can go by tens. I like to do it fast. I do it fast. You can do it by tens. You can start at 50 if you're like, you know what, I'm pretty sure I'm at least 50% there. So you can start wherever you want, but I go by tens. And then wherever it breaks, you can't like, somebody got 76%. So she probably hit 80. And then she's like, am I 75? Nope. And I was 76. Yep. Because it stayed, however she muscle tested, it was strong on 76. So you can get really dialed in with that if you want. But again, just go by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay. I'm not 100. Am I 95? Okay. I'm at least 95, 96, 78. So I'm 97%. Boom. And then I'm just going to do some energetic connections and get me to 100% because even a 3% block is still a tiny bit of a cake in the energy. So great questions. All right. So, okay. So now we know what's going on in our mind behind the scenes when we are running beliefs and how it shows up in our body and then how we show up in the world and how to change that. We know about the terror barrier or the faith fence and what happens when we cross through it, what happens when we choose out and we stay in our comfort zone. Now we know about muscle testing to see what frequency we resonate on a variety of things. Oh, somebody wants to know this. If you've got a health goal, if you have a weight goal, muscle test for what is an ideal weight range for you. You might be much lower than what your body is aligned to for a healthy weight range you that's going to do the most for you. So somebody needed that. So what's next? So now we know what's jamming things up. What can we do to clear that out and resonate on a higher frequency? Energetic connections is what I recommend. There are lots of different energy modalities out there, and all of them have their place. And all of them, as long as they're grounded in the light, which pretty much all of them are, is gonna serve you well. But again, there are some that you'll resonate with more than others. Now, I'm going to share with you a little bit about what energetic connections, which is the energy modality that I created. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that, but I do want to have a little disclaimer. No energy modality actually reprograms subconscious beliefs and programs. All right. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to go do Reiki, or I'm going to go do foot zoning, or I'm going to go do sacral cranial therapy or whatever, those are all fantastic. None of them, including energetic connections, will actually get in there and reprogram subconscious beliefs and subconscious programs. However, it does help to realign your frequency and to make it so much easier for you to get in and do the work to change those programs. And here's the thing, ladies, like you wouldn't want somebody else changing programs. Powerful you are anyway. And I think as many tools as we can use, the better it is, because there are times where it's like, oh, do you know what? I actually want somebody to do some foot zoning for me right now to get the energy moving. Oh, I'm actually feeling like I'm going to do a session on myself, an energetic connection session on myself, because that's what's going to help get the energy moving better. So having a lot of tools is really fantastic, because some things will help at other times better than that didn't make any sense. There are some modalities that will work depending on where we are. They'll work better for us there, and other modalities that work better for us at another time. But as far as changing conscious programs, That's the gift for you too. And you want that. You really want that so that you understand how powerful you are, so that you start a deeper level of claiming your enoughness and of declaring what you desire and expecting it to come to you, instead of relying on everybody else to tell you you're enough, or relying on feedback from others to say that you're successful or that you're worthy or that you're deserving. And quite honestly, it's very simple to reprogram your subconscious beliefs and your subconscious programs. But let's talk about energetic connections for just a minute. A lot of energy modalities have intuition that's weaved into it, and that can be really intimidating for a lot of people. Even if you don't feel like you're super intuitive or a gifted intuitive, or even if you don't really feel like you have a very strong connection with your intuition at all, you can still be very successful using energetic connections. And in fact, I've talked to so many people who have come through my class that didn't feel confident at all. And because in their muscle testing or in their intuition, and because of what they learned in energetic connections, it ramped up their confidence in muscle testing and trusting their intuition, because that's one of the first things that we do there is move the energy and the frequencies that are keeping you from really believing and staying connected to your intuition. So energetic connections teaches you the simple, practical ways to match your frequency with the frequency of the reality you desire. I believe that we are God's greatest creation. And as such, we are here to have dominion over everything. That includes our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, and it includes energy. Energy is intelligent. We are all here to expand. We live in a universe that is constantly expanding, and we're wired for that expansion as well. So it makes sense that lower frequencies of energy also want to expand and increase into higher frequencies of energy. Think about it. If you're discouraged, do you feel empowered? Do you feel like you can take on the world? Do you feel like you can offer your advice to someone? Do you feel like you're even worth being around when you're feeling really discouraged? And are we like, yeah, I could live here. I could just, change the world here. No, you're small, you're constricting, you want to isolate, you try to make yourself smaller, and you want to feel better. That's the energy that's wanting to transmute as well. You're wanting to increase. You're wanting to expand into those higher vibrations. And that's what energetic connections helps you to do in a very grounded, practical, earthbound, like boots on the ground way. It's not this like, Allyson's gonna wear her turban and her huge hoop earrings and her moo and just like sage everyone all day. Although sage is awesome, but no, like we're gonna be like, all right, let's get down and dirty with this. And what's my piece in this? And how do we move this energy? Because it's so great to move energy that wants to be moved. When you successfully learn how your body responds to different vibrations, you can very easily direct energy. Now, why do you want to do this? Directing energy allows you to release yourself from years of trauma or stress, those limiting beliefs. Do you know what limiting beliefs are? They're decisions you've made that make you feel limited. Somebody needs to hear that. Limiting beliefs are decisions you've made about life that make you feel limited in any way. It will help you release yourself from that. It's going to help release you from generational beliefs, because a lot of the patterns that we run and a lot of the energy that we're in aren't even ours. We got it handed down from us 13 generations ago. And it was just taught and perpetuated. They're not even ours, but we've adopted them as ours. And if you feel like you want to create life differently, but you were told you got to, and not in so many words, but like, I can't break out of my box. I can't lead with my feminine. Who do I think I am? Girls do this and boys do that. That's a generational belief and a generational pattern that isn't even yours, and certainly will not get you to that next level of success that you want without struggle. You got to learn how to get into your feminine, lead with your feminine, let your masculine assist in that and support you in that. And that is what pops you out of the struggle. Also going to help you release unhealthy thought patterns, unhealthy behavior patterns, and painful relationships, abusive relationships, all of those. It's going to release you from that. It also helps you let go of the emotional charge of painful memories. We got to get you out of the energy of that painful memory, because then you're continually creating in that same energy. You're in that same vibration of, I can't ask what I want because I get in trouble, or I get hurt when I ask for what I want, or men can't be trusted, or my mother can't be trusted, or people can't be trusted. We have to disconnect you from any of that emotional upset, so you're no longer creating in that vibration. We don't want you resonating there anymore. We're going to help you establish the energetic foundation to align you to your vision. If you've got, those of you who have worked with me before or working with me now, you have a very specific goal or dream that you're working towards. If you're not energetically aligned to it and resonating with it, there's no way that you can get it. You're not a vibrational match. So why we do energetic connections in every rise up call at the beginning, so we can make sure that you're aligned and you're a vibrational match to it. You're going to learn how to create an environment that allows your body to heal itself, because your body knows how to heal itself. It's forgotten. So we got to create an environment within your body where it knows how to stay aligned with optimal health. If you want to heal and then enhance relationships with yourself, with your own identity, with your femininity, with money, with relationships, with your children, your spouse, your coworkers, your friends, whoever that is, energetic connections shows you how to do that. And it will connect you with God, your angels, your higher power, if God isn't your word, possibilities, your endless potential. That's what energetic connections does. Does it sound too good to be true? It's not. It's all energy. We can move it really, really fast and really, really easily. It's the fastest, the simplest, and the most straightforward way to move energy and align your frequency that's available today. Because that's what I required for it to be. I wanted it to be simple. I wanted it to be able to just be practical. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, that makes total sense. Okay, yeah, let's do it. And so, and I believe to my cells that knowing how to move energy is a life skill today. In today's world, you have to know how to disconnect from mass consciousness, which is fear. It's fear, it's control, it's everything is, I'm a victim. You've got to learn how to disconnect from that and connect to your inherent power. I tend to attract a lot of empaths. So you've got to learn how to shield, but not from this place of protection and someone's going to hurt me and I'm in trouble, but from a place of empowerment. Because like the world is really dark right now. We need more light. We need more light, and energetic connections is what allows you to raise that dimmer switch on your light and feel safe as you do it. Anybody getting caught up by other people's judgment or opinions of them? I teach you how to disconnect from that. So their story is theirs and your story is yours. And nobody has to be wrong, but you create in this way because it works better for you. So we are doing another Energetic Connections 2-day live in-person training on March 24th and 25th in downtown Salt Lake City. And I invite you to join us. So let me tell you what it's about. We're going to spend 2 days doing a variety of things. We're going to clear chakras. If you don't know what chakras are, you're going to learn about chakras. You're going to let go of money trauma, because every person on this planet runs some sort of program that has trauma where money is concerned. We got to clear that out. You're going to learn how to repair relationships, especially with yourself and also with others. By the way, if you were ever in a painful or abusive relationship, healing that relationship does not mean that you have to go back and have a relationship with them. You don't, but we got to heal you from the energy of that abuse or the energy of that pain. You're going to learn how to end generational beliefs and patterns that don't serve you and moving forward. You're going to learn how energy moves through you. You're going to trust yourself and the different forms your intuition uses to guide you. You're going to get clarity on your next step. You're going to align to your goals and your dreams and dissolve fear and blocks quickly and easily so that you can more easily and more successfully rewire your subconscious mind and redesign your reality. This is such a powerful tool that will assist you in getting life to meet you on your terms. So let me tell you a little bit about that, about the dates. We're doing 3 sessions of energetic connections this year. We're doing one in March, one in June, one in October. I don't know what the dates are in June. So one of my team members can reach out to you and let you know what they are later on. We do have a live stream option available for energetic connection. So if you're not comfortable traveling, or if you're inhibited by travel, if it's any sort of an issue, we're going to live stream it. So you're taken care of. We would love to have you live in person. Oh my word, we've got the most gorgeous venue. Oh, I'm so excited. You want to talk rich and high vibe and luxurious? Oh, downtown Salt Lake has that. But if that's not an option, we've got the live stream for you. You're going to get a manual. So not going to fumble around and be like, what did we learn yesterday? You're going to have a manual that walks you through the entire process of energetic connections. You're going to get plenty of time to practice on yourself and on others. You got me face to face. Come play with me in my energy for 2 days. Holy cow, your entire life will change for the better with that. And you're going to get a 90-minute call about 4 weeks after to answer any questions that you've had, anything that's coming up in the meantime after you've had some time to practice. So we've got you covered. And because you all signed up for the masterclass, if you decide to join us live, you're going to get lunch with me on day 1. So come let me feed you and come spend some time just with me on that first day. So what is the investment for this? It's $29.97 or 4 payments of $900 each to attend. Your ticket is good for 12 months. If you can't attend this one or it doesn't work, your ticket's good, clear till like next March. So we've got you. We understand the uncertainty, and we're certainly not going to be like, sorry, sucks to be you. You didn't come in 12 months. Of course, we're not going to do that. And so your ticket is good for 12 months if you can't attend this one. If you are knowing like, dang, let's do this, go to prosperityapproach.com/EC. It stands for energetic connections. You can get more information there. You can register there. Each of you, I'm going to have Team Prosperity reach out to each of you, because some of you, with the bonus of being in Rise Up, you got a free ticket to Energetic Connections. So we'll make sure we get you registered for the one that's going to be best for you. But if you have any questions, we're going to connect you with a member of Team Prosperity that's going to walk you through all of it. I have personally trained my entire team in Energetic Connections, and they are masterful at it. They're so great. So they can certainly answer any questions that you might have about that. So we'll reach out to you that way. But if you already know, dang, I'm in, then let's do this. Let's play. Let's get you the most powerful tool that you can have in your toolbox to help you move energy. So go to prosperityapproach.com/EC. And if you already know who your success expert was, if you joined us on any of the workshops, you can reach out to them, but I'm going to have them reach out to you anyway, just to make sure that any questions or hesitations are taken care of for you, all answered for you. So thank you again so much for joining. Oh, I appreciate your willingness to learn and your great vibes. I hope that this has been enormously helpful for you. And until we meet again, remember, ladies, prosperity becomes you. Mwah. Bye-bye.